Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why is there's no such coaching like my coaching anywhere on the internet. And nobody spends as much time with their clients and on their clients, okay? I rendezvous with my clients 2 to 3 times per week, whether that's via audio or via a telephone session. And this is how I coach. The two coaching packages, the links are directly below. It's audio exchange unlimited and telephone sessions deluxe. Now, I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me minimum in order to cover my signature program, which is the one that I've developed being a coach for 8 years, and works effortlessly, meaning the most efficiently. You have to show up, you have to really do the work. I cannot do your push-ups for you, but it really works miraculously if you do the work. In the first package, we interact by audio exchange. In the second, obviously by telephone sessions, which I record, and then I go through them. I spend at least 2 hours on each audio to listen to it, transcribe it, and respond with my own audio that I record to each client. And then I have to go through, in the case of phone session client, I have to go through the whole hour, take my notations. I take them by hand. Everybody gets a paper pad in my coaching. I'm very old-fashioned because I want to remember everything. Okay, no detail is too small because I really want to understand your history. And this is why I start covering your history from childhood to all the way till today. And the reason I do it so thoroughly right from the start is because I want to understand you, the person who's coming into my coaching. Without this, there is no progress. There will be no progress. I am not one of these coaches who is going to sell you some kind of a coaching course or program that doesn't involve you. This is a totally personable approach. This kind of hand-holding does not exist on the internet, okay? And please correct me if I'm wrong, all right? To the best of my knowledge, every single person who has come from another coach into my coaching told me so, and really left, transformed from my coaching, if I do say so myself. Now, parenthesis here, everything in my coaching is confidential, with the, exception of course, if you become a danger to yourself, to me, or to another person, and you explicitly inform me of that. That has never happened to me, thank goodness. However, everything is confidential. And so when people ask me for success stories, I can only share what I am authorized to share. Okay, and so I pride myself in confidentiality of my clients. The things that are posted on my website are the things that people literally, this is the minimum that you can share. Okay, and I think it's understandable because, if you're in my coaching and you're sharing your whole entire life story with me, I don't think you want me to go into details trying to explain to anybody on wide open on the internet, on YouTube, the details of your life and how, you manifested what you did. I think my job is for you to manifest things and for you to be happy, and off you go. And ultimately, I think you need to resonate with the coach that you hire. You need to understand that coaching is not therapy, okay? That's the number one clause in my coaching agreement that you'll need to sign upon booking with me, and you do need to pre-book in order to be considered for my coaching, and reach out to me with your coaching objectives, etc. And understand that you need to choose a coach. You need to choose a coach who's ready to provide results for you. Okay. And I'm very honest in my coaching, very straightforward. And I think you need to be ready for that. And the reason why is because you need to be ready for a change. So chances are the way you've been doing things in your life hasn't worked for decades, okay? Maybe your whole life. I don't know. A strong coach just does just that. You need to assume that I'm always on your side. But you also need to assume that the change is uncomfortable, okay? And in order to change, you're going to have to face the truth. And it's not for everybody, essentially. I am not for everybody. I'm very well aware of it. It's a little bit kind of like Jack Nicholson and A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth, okay? I think, very few, not too many. In my coaching, people just couldn't handle what I had to say, even though it was blatantly obvious to me. So I think you really need to be prepared. I work well with people who come into my coaching really thirsty for change, thirsty for results. Okay, I'm not here, to kind of like appease anything or, be a Barbie doll, with a blueberry pie in my hand with like glittery nails, okay, and spread magic potions in the air. This is work. Coaching is work, and you need to understand that it's a boot camp. And it's a boot camp that will serve you well for the rest of your life, okay, if you do it well. And so 2 to 3 months in coaching with me is minimum. However, some people have stayed longer. Maximum, I would say it's 6 months, okay, because after that, it becomes that you're really dependent on me, and I really don't want that. Now, tomorrow, I'm having a live, okay? You will see my face, my lovely face. But I've been trying to post the kind of like the text post, and not a lot of you responded to the post. I've gotten emails, there was that, about the questions, but you need to either comment on this video or send me an email with questions. Okay, if you're not going to take this opportunity, I don't know when is the next time I'm going to do another live. Okay, I'm going to be discussing conquering your SP after chasing. So this is for somebody who has been chasing somebody and now wants to be chased. But you need to come up with any question that, I can cover. And I would prefer that I know what I'm discussing ahead of time so I can just like pace myself. All right. And again, if you have any questions about my coaching, I also offer seminars for 10, and there are other packages. The new audiobook is an excellent idea for you to embark upon if you can't come into my coaching. All the descriptions are on my website. If you have any questions, either book me for an hour, okay, to make sure I'm your kind of coach, or just email me directly and we'll take it from there. All right, thank you. The subject of today is telling a new story changes everything. So obviously you're listening to this because you're unhappy about some situation, whether that's your SP, your money, your career, drama, panorama, whatever it is you're dealing with. I apologize in advance for the honking, but it's kind of like holiday season and people are impatient in Manhattan. And everybody's super drunk. Anyway. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Okay. So in order to change the story that you don't like right now, you really have to embark on this journey to really question everything that surrounds you, right? And not just take it for a fact. In other words, if something has been the way it has been for whatever time that it has been, even for decades, okay? In other words, I don't care for how long it has been, the way it has been with your SP, or the way it has been with your money, with your career, with whatever it is you're dealing with today, okay? It can change literally in an instant, provided you allow this opportunity to float into your reality. If you open your mind just a little bit, in other words, and this happens through belief work, okay? Because the program of the way that you're operating right now tells you that something is impossible. Okay, a lot of resistance. Like, this is why some religious people sometimes come on my channel. There haven't been too many that attack me and call me the witch. Parenthesis, I'm the white witch. Get it together already. Get with the program. I mean well, in other words. And by the way, witches are misunderstood, but that's another story for another time. Oh, I can't wait to get comments on that. And so, it's about understanding the universe at large, how it really operates, okay? So it's right next to each other, in other words, your old story and the new possibility. And so your world has to open up to a new possibility in order to allow something else to happen. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Today I was cleaning out my office, my designer office, with my assistant, and we're kind of like prepping for a new situation, designing a new collection. We're embarking on something new, a few things, and we needed to go through like everything. We needed to throw out a lot of fabrics, order some new ones, clean some things, and this and any other. And we do this like every 6 months, and kind of take inventory and etc. And so this is exactly what coaching is in a sense. And everything that you do in life, like periodically, myself personally, I go through everything in my life. This doesn't belong. This is in the garbage. This can stay. More of this, something new. You need to do this periodically so that you have a healthy cultivation of new ideas that can come in. You cannot stay stagnant, in other words. You need to keep creating new things so that you're experiencing the flow of the energy, in other words. Okay, there have been times in my life, for example, when I would either give away my whole, like 90% of my wardrobe, or I would not be able to access my wardrobe because, one of my exes would deny me of having my things, because I left him, whatever. And, that was such a cleansing experience. I am not like a materialistic person. I am also a designer. I've been a fashion designer for a long time, but I'm not a materialistic person because the 3D means jack. It just doesn't mean anything. Whenever I gave away so much or let go of something that, basically was old energy, so many new things and so many fabulous things flowed into my life that it was overwhelming. Okay? And so just keep that in mind. Whatever you're holding on to today, drama, trauma, panorama, and I don't mean to make light of it. It's just an expression I have just to kind of like, have a aha moment, and just examine what it is you want to let go of today. This is what I work on in my coaching. And again, I'm not a psychiatrist, but it helps to examine what serves you and what does not, what needs to be replaced, what needs to be told differently. For example, in the case of scripting, there's the different kinds of techniques and this, that, and the other. But if you start telling a new story of your past, your present changes. And even before I was coaching, and like I said, I've been coaching for 8 years professionally. It's a miracle what happens. Okay, I mean, I've been scripting since 12 years old, unknowingly so. I would just write stories, and guys, like seriously, I am not even joking. This is an incredible technique, Why? And here's why. It's not you can't make it a chore. You have to make it kind of like fun for you, a fantasy land that you visit. When people go in to see a movie, they don't question whether it's real or not. They suspend their disbelief, and so their subconscious is wide open, and they receive all of this imagery and feeling, and that's why the scripting is so powerful. The same thing, happened to me over and over again. When I would script something, I would just imagine it very easily and would go into the feeling of it, and these things would literally happen like verbatim. Okay, so this is why I always say, in my own world personally, and this is what I teach, you have to really pay attention what it is you're saying to yourself day in and day out. If you're saying to yourself you don't have enough money, if you're saying to yourself you don't have your SP, this will go on forever until such time where, yes, you become delusional enough to start saying, and it's like I said, the old story is right next to the new story. That's how much they're like right next to each other. Not even a millimeter away. It's a consciousness away. Okay? And so anything you want is like in the room with you, essentially. If I can make you see what I see when I say it. Like whenever I start like recording, I start channeling, like I always say. I always channel because it's a roadmap. It's kind of like all these images are in front of my mind. I just took like 3 notes and I just go. And so if I could make you see what I see, it's kind of like how can I say this? It's an overlay. The different, like, if you see like slides, slides, like the old fashioned slides, whoever is a teenager probably don't know, look it up on the internet. And so it's like superimposed slides right next to each other. And your consciousness picks the one that is most appropriate according to your frequency. Okay. So if you're on the frequency of like, I don't have enough money, this is the slide you will pick automatically. This is how genius the universe is. It's just an automatic situation, and you will experience that sadness or deprivation or whatever. If you don't, it's same with your SP or whatever. If you suddenly become delusional, in quotations enough, and say, no, I'm a millionaire. Okay, right here in this room, there are millions of dollars. There are $1 million idea or a multi-million-dollar idea, and I can access it through my vibration, through my frequency. Don't you know these thoughts will start cultivating themselves within you because you're like an antenna, you're like the tower of reception of these frequencies, of these parallel realities, and that slide will show up, and all of a sudden something will pop in your head. And it'll be something like so simplistic like, I wonder what so-and-so is doing. Or, oh, you know what I really wanted to do? Oh, yes. Oh, shit. That was on my desk for like fucking ages. And now I get to, really work on it. And suddenly like the light bulb lights up and wow, I'm there. In the case of SP, for instance, if you're telling yourself the story, okay, they're not here, la la la, they left me, blah blah blah, all this drama panorama. Okay, that's one situation. Or even saying things like, he's a narcissist or she's a bad person, all this fucking junk that people watch nonstop on YouTube. It's such a waste of fucking time. It's such a waste of fucking time. And that it's I'm beyond getting mad about it because, I guess if it resonates with you, then that's the frequency you reside on. Now, understand that you don't have to, okay? You can choose another frequency, and on another frequency, that very same person who looks exactly the same, okay, has the same name and everything like that, is a completely different individual. Okay, you create the versions of people in your life according to your frequency. There, I just gave it to you like a huge, gigantic gold nugget. Like, I did though. It is so true. Whenever it resonates, that's when I start laughing. This is so good. I love it. In the minute you decide like this person is adoring you and, they're no longer a narcissist and this, that, and the other, you have not just changed this person, but you've changed realities. You've changed everything. You changed, telling a new way of things to be changes the things that surround you. Okay, so it doesn't matter how long you've resided in the parallel reality. It could be zillion of years. You've grown really, really old in that reality, okay? And all of a sudden you just decide in once, at a snap of your fingers, provided, of course, you have to believe that you can do it, okay? I cannot like underline it 300 million times. You have to believe. You have to believe that you can do that. If you don't believe, forget it, like really, okay? And again, this new version will be looking exactly the same, sounding the same, but a different version of story will be applied to this very individual that you remember them looking this way and this, that, and the other, and they are completely different. Why? Because you told a new story. It is spooky how it works. I'm trying to deliver to you something to work with if you can't come into my coaching and you just can listen to these audios. But ultimately, in order for you to really understand and dig through your past, which I think is really useful, and start changing things like one thing at a time, in all departments of your life. I don't just coach with SPs, by the way. I coach in all areas. Okay, it's you're not just about SP. SP is just the tip of the iceberg. It's usually because everything else is kind of like needs kind of checking and working on. But it's so close to each other, you don't understand that you can just switch over so easily. It could be totally diametrically opposed, right? So it's like having two different consultants in your mind. I mean, parenthesis here, you can make you can have as many as 20. Okay, but let's just go with simplistic situations. And it could be like two different consultants in your mind, which is why I make fun of tarot cards till the end of motherfucking time, because it's just a reflection of what it is you're thinking. Okay, if you put yourself in a good mood, it's a good reading. If you're in a bad mood, it's not such a good reading. There are narcissists, they're horrible, move on, la la la. Which is why it's like everything is here. You choose what you want to believe. Just everything is here, right here. Yes, everything is here. Choose what you want to believe. And so two consultants, so to speak, in the invisible can be telling you, he's a narcissist, he's a jerk, he's a womanizer, la 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 la. That person, forget it. Valid. That's valid. Another one can be saying, yes, but they have changed. They have done the work on themselves. They've become a better human being. They're so apologetic. They're in love with you, and they realize you're the love of their life. And you were the catalyst, and they've changed for you. Also valid, and everything in between. And so it's your job to select what the fuck it is you want. Seriously, the story that you want to tell will play out. Nobody has a preference under the sun what kind of life you will have. Nobody's your enemy. Nobody's going to stand in your way. Nobody's going to tell you this is, something that you shouldn't do. You don't deserve it. La, 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 la. No, it's what you think that you deserve. It's what you think that you can create and believe that you can create. And it's what you understand that is your story. Now, of course, you need to start with what it is already there in order to change it. Without understanding what you're changing, you can't change it. So you need to start with like literal honesty with yourself. I believe this. This is the situation. This person got married to somebody else. This person left me. This person was a jerk. Okay. When people come into my coaching and start like try to sugarcoat shit for me, don't waste your fucking time, because I'll get to the truth. I'm very intuitive, so cut the bullshit. Let's start with the truth. Only with the truth, the truth shall set you free. Yeah. All right. So start with the truth and let's change it. Everything is changeable, but start with something real. Okay. And so whatever story you're buying into currently, that is the process. That is what is in process of being outpictured. The end. That's the whole shebang. That's another golden huge nugget. Whatever you're buying into, like on a cellular level, like saying, yes, this is true. My name is Anna. Yes, this is true. Okay. I live in New York City. Yes, this is true. Okay. I've been a coach for 8 years. Yes, this is true. I've coached many like celebrities and famous people, and now I'm coaching on YouTube. Okay. Yes, this is true. Okay. And whatever else you do in your life, whatever else your name is, and wherever else you're from. And comment below wherever you're from, by the way. This is truth. And so now the new truth has to really start to be identified with you, just as something that you don't prefer. Yes, this person was a jerk. So true. 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 Press the button like 1,000 times. True. Okay, so now he's an angel, and he treats me so nicely, la 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 la. Now parenthesis here, in the beginning you're like, oh, please, you're full of shit. I don't believe it for 1 second. Okay, but it's a start. If it's something that you want to experience, right? Of course, it's not going to sound like the truth in the beginning, but, and here's the kicker, okay? You don't have to convince anybody but yourself. And you don't have to do anything on the outside to make it so. because this is how powerful you are. Everything resides within you, the entire universe. This person is not even real. It's just a projection of your consciousness. You're creating that version day in and day out. And so there's nobody else to convince but you. And so as long as you get to convince yourself of the new story, of the new version of story, the new version of SP, the new story of money, the new story of whatever, this is the story from here on. I don't know how else to say to you. The universe does not have a preference. Literally not. And so you can switch from one drastically different reality to the new in a split of a second. And just by your sheer decision, by your sheer intention. Okay, but for that, you really need to be bold and brave to cut the crap and face the truth of the music of your shitty beliefs and the things that you've done that don't work for you, okay, have never worked for you. And then replace them with something magical. And that's how you create the new story, and that's how you create magic and miracles. Thank you very much for listening. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. All the information from me is below. Until next time. Until tomorrow. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.